We have just gotten a scary Julius Randle injury update, and we have to talk about this. So, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video as we always do, because there has been a scary update on Julius Randle in regards to his injury. That is why these sirens are outside. It is officially time to panic, because as Steve Popper just recently reported, Julius Randle has said that surgery has not been ruled out, but he's hoping to avoid it and doing everything he can to get back as soon as possible. And then followed up with the fact that it sounded as if he won't know for sure until he advances in the rehab process and takes full contact to see how the shoulder responds. Now, that is obviously terrifying news that it seems like maybe this dislocated shoulder is a little bit more serious than the one that Steph Curry had a couple years back. But it's also something that we have to be aware of. No matter how terrifying it might be that we could be losing Julius Randle for the season, it's really always hard to tell with dislocations, if they didn't tear through a muscle, how you're going to be until you are back doing full contact, until you're back on the court. Julius needs to be able to see if he can take contact and his shoulder will stay in place, or if he is going to have it surgically put back into place where it'll stay. And that's really the big question, because one of those situations is obviously much better than the other. You don't want to have Julius Randle get season-ending surgery. If anything, you hope that he'll be able to play on his shoulder until we get to the offseason, and then if he needs to get it done, it's a little bit different. But the Knicks right now are probably the third or second best team in the Eastern Conference when fully healthy. And without Julius Randle, they're far from fully healthy, because Randle has been one of, if not, well, he's not their best player, but he is the second best player on this basketball team. He is so important to the New York Knicks. There's a reason why he's been All-NBA twice. There's a reason why he's a three-time All-Star with the Knicks. The man has been awesome for this team. He's made back-to-back All-Star games now. First time a Knick has done that since Carmelo Anthony. He was the first All-Star. Well, technically Porzingis, but he didn't play in the game. First All-Star to show up in an All-Star game since Carmelo Anthony. Julius Randle is slowly becoming one of the greatest Knicks of all time. And right now, he's at the peak of his power. He's been great this season, and the Knicks cannot afford to lose Randle for the remainder of the year. Now, for the season, he's putting up 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists while shooting 47% from the field. He's shooting 31.1% from 3, which obviously isn't that good, but he started shooting a lot worse from there and then picked it up as time went along. He's got around a 19 PER, which is pretty good. The man is a solid player. You can see the accolades up in the right-hand corner of that. Randle has been him for the New York Knicks. And here's something to note when it comes to Randle's importance with this season specifically. The New York Knicks this season have a 4-5 record without Julius Randle. Now, the Knicks are 33-22 overall, but without Randle, they're under 500. So obviously the Knicks are not the same team without Julius. They need him back, and I understand that not all those games had Jalen Brunson there. It doesn't matter, though, because even when we've seen games with Brunson recently, like against the Rockets when there was those atrocious calls, that game wouldn't have even been a question if Randle was there. The Knicks would have probably beat Orlando had they had Julius Randle there. The Knicks are missing a lot of their players, I understand, but none more important than Julius Randle. Now, we have more news on Randle from Steve Popper as of yesterday. When Tibbs was asked if surgery was ruled out, he said that he's not sure, but he thinks the fact that Randle's been working the way he's been working, they're all good signs. He hasn't heard anything other than that Julius is making good, steady progress. So that is kind of a silver lining, but obviously that's yesterday. And now today, Julius is saying, yeah, I might need surgery on this. He also mentioned on a side note that he knew he was going to miss time the second he got injured. He realized that it was a real injury, that it was not something minor. And you can kind of tell that with a dislocation, because those things hurt, dude. Those are painful as hell. They really are. Not a fun injury to have. Randle obviously is a big person, though. His shoulders are jacked up like he's an NFL linebacker. So that is a positive. He's got a bunch of muscle to hold that shoulder in place. And my biggest fear is that Randle can come back and might not be fully healthy, because that would just suck. Like, we already have such a bad rep with Julius Randle in the playoffs because he's been playing injured in, like, the last series, and then the Hawks one, he was absolutely gassed, and the Hawks just doubled him the entire time. We don't need to continue to see these narratives that Julius Randle's a terrible playoff performer because he's never once been healthy in the NBA playoffs. It's really, really annoying to see, though it is also very justified. I want to see a healthy Julius Randle show up in the playoffs and do Julius Randle things to other teams. And the Knicks are in danger of being a first-round exit without Julius. I mean, please believe Julius Randle is that important to the team. He is their second scoring option. He is their second offensive option. Outside of the Brunson pick-and-roll action, what they run is Julius Randle in that isolation. That is how the Knicks get a lot of their work done. They love to use switches, get smaller guys on Randle, and the Knicks are going to need that in the playoffs throughout, and especially even in the first round, because the Knicks will probably end up being a 4 or 5 seed if Randle doesn't come back for the rest of the year. Hopefully they can get up to 3 or something, but they're going to have some trouble. The East is deep enough that no matter who they play, they're going to get a run for their money, and they absolutely are going to need Julius Randle down that stretch, or the Knicks are not going to have any shot creation on that roster outside of Jalen Brunson, which is going to make him so susceptible to double teams. Luckily, the Knicks have the best shooting they've had basically ever as a franchise on one team. So that is the silver lining, that you can only double Brunson so much because you're going to get too many open Knicks shooters. But with one guy who's controlling the entirety of the offense, it is harder to get anywhere in the NBA playoffs than when you have a second guy doing it. Now, we've seen teams do it in the past. For instance, the Atlanta Hawks in 2021 with Trae Young. He was the only one dominating the ball. They came 2 games short of the NBA Finals. So you definitely can get it done, but it becomes all that much more harder when you're missing your all-star forward, and that is definitely concerning. Now, Tom Thibodeau gave an update around a day ago yesterday when he said that Randle's doing well overall, but he hasn't been clear to practice yet. He's meeting all the markers and is moving around pretty good, so we're just taking it day by day. And also, when Julius was asked if there's a timetable for when he'll be back, he said, I think I'm planning on being back on the court April 1st, probably. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm taking it day by day at a time, to be honest. Every day I'm getting stronger and I'm getting better. So, I mean, it's outside of Randle just messing around a little bit, it is kind of just what you're going to see out of any player, which is him just saying, oh yeah, I'm getting stronger, I'm getting closer every day. Players are never like, oh man, not going to be back. Sucks. They don't do that. I mean, remember, when Kemba Walker was in the Knicks media day, the year that he was on the Knicks for like 20 minutes, he said that he felt the best he'd ever felt in his career when it came to his knees. Guess what wasn't true? That statement. That was a lie. Kemba did not feel as good as he ever did. Kemba got pushed out of the Knicks completely because his knees had completely taken his career. Though that was a weird choice. The Knicks needed a point guard and should have just kept Kemba, despite the fact that he played no defense. He had a few great games with the Knicks. He put up some 40-point games. Looked like prime Kemba Walker a lot of the time when they let him. They probably should have let him stay around, but that's whatever. That year was weird. One of the weirdest Knicks seasons of my life. But look, the Knicks are in a weird spot right now, and they need to find a way to get their guys healthy. No more important than Julius Randle, though also Mitchell Robinson and OG Anunoby. Mitch is out of the walking boot. That's a huge start. He should be here for playoffs. OG Anunoby seems to be getting better. It seems like he's going to be cleared to practice soon. Once he does, we'll see OG back. He'll probably be the first one of the Knicks starters who are back in the rotation and back on the court. That'll obviously be huge. OG has been tremendous for the Knicks. The Knicks have been tremendous when OG plays. Huge sign, but we're still waiting on the big one in All-Star Julius Randle. So hopefully Randle get back soon. Because we need you, bro. Please get back. Please don't need surgery, or please be able to delay this surgery until the off season. Comment down below what you think on Julius Randle. Do you think he's going to come back? Do you think he'll be at full strength? Who, if not Randle, is the most important guy who the Knicks are missing right now due to injury? And if you say it's not Randle, well, then guess what? You're probably wrong. Have a great day, guys. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and go Knicks.